Again, this is the Performance Excellence Program, and this workshop is specifically for supervisors. Okay, the objectives of the Performance Excellence Program is for classified, prof-tech, and administrative employees. The objectives are to clarify job expectations, facilitate a discussion of employee performance and achievements, establish and document employee professional development, to enhance the likelihood of achieving both organizational and departmental goals by providing periodic feedback on individual performance. Remember that the performance review is a continuous process. It is not just a one-time event. You, the supervisor, need to provide feedback throughout the year, not just once a year. This is very important. You'll hear this throughout the workshop. You need to be providing feedback to your employees throughout the year, not just a once time during their PEP review. It is a continuous process. A fundamental expectation for a performance appraisal system is it will substantially aid supervisors in the short term by providing employee performance and over the long term by contributing to employee development. Remember to focus on the employee's performance, not on their personality. The Performance Excellence Program includes 3 sections: the upward evaluations, employee reviews, and the goals and objectives. And we will go over all 3 of these parts separately. First, the upward evaluations. As you know, the upward evaluation period has closed. It took place Monday, April 22nd through Friday, May 3rd. The upward evaluation allows all employees the opportunity to evaluate their supervisors in an online, anonymous way. The feedback the employee gives is used on his or her supervisor's performance evaluation. The upward evaluation results are sent to the next level. A few things you need to remember: that the upward evaluation reports are not automatically sent after the upward evaluation period closes. They will be monitored this year and will not be sent out until after June 1st, so we can ensure that the first round employees have had their PEPs completed. A supervisor's upward evaluation results are not to be shown directly to the supervisor. Again, if you have employees underneath you that are supervisors, you are not to show the supervisor the upward evaluation report. You are to use the general information in the upward evaluation report and to use it on the supervisor's performance review. The upward evaluation is anonymous evaluation, so the employee feels comfortable enough to fill out the evaluation without the worry of retaliation from the supervisor. Okay. Any questions on upward evaluations right now? If you have questions, again, put them in the chat. I just want to make sure I get everyone's questions as we go through. Okay. The components of the Performance Excellence Program. There are 4 components of the Performance Excellence Program: job expectation, goal settings. We'll go over this a little more in depth in a few slides, but just for an overview, the goals need to be SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. You are to meet with the employee to discuss and agree upon the important tasks, projects, and duties for the year, as well as how to measure the progress. We know that duties and assignments may change throughout the year, therefore the goals need to be flexible and can be changed as needed. Professional development provides training opportunities for employees to develop or enhance skills that are critical to job performance. Remember that professional development is mandatory for all employees. One of the new features that I'll show you on the online system, if you haven't seen it, it will automatically tell you if the employee is out of compliance with ADA or SHP. Okay, we have a question. One second. A question regarding upward evaluations being sent out June 1st, and should we not wait till July 1st? I will do a spot check on June 1st to see if the first round upward evaluations have been completed. If they have not been completed, the upward evaluation reports will not be sent out yet. Announcement will be going to the supervisors as well, including the first level and the second level, and letting them know when upward evaluation reports are going to be sent. I'm monitoring when they're going to be sent because I'm going to ensure that the first line reviews have been completed. So if the reviews haven't been completed till June, then the upward evaluation reports to that next level will not be sent out until after the reviews are completed. Okay. Measuring progress. The employee and the supervisor should meet quarterly to discuss the employee's progress toward achieving the professional goals, and identify any plans for growth and improvement. Remember, this is that continuous feedback that you need to give the employee throughout the year. This is why you're going to be meeting with the supervisor on a quarterly or a semester basis. So you ensure that they're reaching their goals and that they know where their improvement is for the year. Remember, for the new employees, after their first 180 days, their initial probationary period, you are to conduct a review. The review can be done on the PEP form that is online that we kept up as a PDF. Just remember, if you send it in to me, I will call you and ask if that's an official review that needs to be put on file or not. Okay, the next one, appraising performance. The review of performance is an appraisal and a comparison of actual performance against the established expectations. Remember that the performance needs to accurately reflect the employee's performance. You need to review the employee's performance for the entire year, not just 3 to 6 months, the last 3 to 6 months. A formal performance appraisal plan is designed to meet 3 needs: provide systematic feedback to back up transfers, promotions, terminations, and more, means of telling an employee how he or she is doing and suggesting needed changes in the behavior, and they're also being used as a basis for coaching and counseling of the individual by the supervisor. There are 3 needs, 1 for the organization and 2 for the individual. An employee's formal PEP review will be used in any termination issues that are based on the employee's performance. Remember that you must document an employee's performance accurately because the review will be used if you are trying to terminate the employee on the employee's performance. For example, if you marked exceeds requirements during the evaluation in May or June on the employee's review, then however 6 months later you want to terminate the employee based on their performance. Unless you documented some type of performance issue before and let the employee know between the formal review in May and when you're trying to terminate, HR will have questions for you and asking why the performance was exceed 6 months and now it needs improvements and you're ready to terminate the employee. Again, remember, you have to accurately reflect the employee's performance. Okay, an overview of the ratings and your employees, if they attended one of these webinars, WebExes, or one of the workshops in class, got the same screen, so they know what the ratings mean that they will be evaluated on. Exceeds requirements. This is objectives are constantly met on a high standard of performance, and the employee often offers innovative suggestions for improvement. This is the above and beyond category. Meets requirements. Performance is characterized by objectives being met and overall results are good. Needs improvement. Performance indicates that the employee's performance is not meeting the job expectations or requirements. Not applicable. This rating should be used when the criteria is not appropriate for the job expectations. Okay, the supervisor's responsibility. 6 major activities are involved in the ongoing process of performance management during the appraisal period. Creating the conditions that generate the employee's motivation. You can simply ask the employee when they're motivated, or you can do more in-depth conversations with them. Observing and documenting performance. You can keep a critical incident log that documents the employee's performance was noticeably different than the norm If it was praiseworthy or substandard, remember to document any performance issues and including the details. Updating and revising initial objectives, performance standards, and job competencies areas are as conditions change. Providing performance feedback and coaching when problems or opportunities arise. Remember that feedback is important on progress and letting the employee know if they're reaching their goal based on the standards that you and the employee have established. Okay. Provide developmental experiences, reinforcing effective behavior and progress toward goals. The informal meeting is to see the employee's progress on work and goals and to give any necessary feedback. Work performance and goal progress should be evaluated informally on a quarterly basis. A completed PEP does not need to be used for these informal meetings unless you want some documentation. You can have the documentation on the PEP. For the informal meetings, just keep it in your office. Make sure you and the employee get a copy. Don't send it to me. If you send it to the staff evaluation office, I will call you back or email you asking if this is an official evaluation that needs to be logged and turned into HR records. Very important for you to know, if performance deficiency is identified, the supervisor should immediately meet with the employee to discuss the performance concerns. Provide an opportunity for the employee to respond. Work with the employee to develop a plan for improvement. This is at any time when a performance deficiency throughout the year comes up, meet with the employee, stop, talk about it then. Do not wait till the formal review in May or June to have a discussion on an issue that happened 6 months ago. This is for you to know what the employees were told that it was their responsibility. The employees should know what is expected in the performance of their job, be evaluated on how the job has been done, be provided professional development to enhance skills, and determine how performance can be improved. The employees are to come to the meeting that they have with you prepared. They're to have their self-evaluation and to have some goals and professional development that they want to do for the next year. Okay, again, if you have any questions, chat them, and I will say them out loud and then answer them. The online system. We're going to go through a few slides, and then I will log into the online system so you can see the new features if you haven't logged in already. All employee reviews are to be completed in the PEP Online System. If for some reason you need to do a paper evaluation, you will need to contact me, and I will tell you the steps that you will have to do to make sure that I get it logged as complete and it gets put in the employee's personnel file. There are 3 components of the online system. The self-evaluation. This year, the supervisor is able to see the self-evaluation in the online system. You're able to see it only. You can copy the goals and professional development the employee puts in, but you cannot save the copy. Okay, so question, are self-evaluations mandatory? The process is to have the employee do a self-evaluation. We tell you we highly recommend, but it is up to the supervisor. But we want the employees to do some work before they come to the meeting. That's why we tell them to do the self-evaluation, so they have a conversation tool to talk to the supervisor with. It makes them reflect over what they've done, it makes them think of where they need improvement, and makes them think of what they want to do for the next year. So it's mandatory in the process, but if they don't do it, that's up to the supervisor how they want to decide if that's going to hurt the evaluation or not. Okay. The second after the official evaluation is, after the self-evaluation is the official evaluation. This is the one that you and the employee will sign off on, and then the archived evaluations. These are the employee's past reviews that were done on the online system. If for some reason you do not see a evaluation for your employee on a specific year, you can contact me, and I can find out if they were done on paper or if something happened with the online system. When should the employee do the self-evaluation in comparison to the official evaluation? What we tell you is to have the employee finish the self-evaluation, give them a specific date that you want their self-evaluation completed. Since you can see it on the online system, it is a working document. The employee can save it as many times as they want. So we tell the supervisors to tell the employee a specific date prior to the meeting that you're going to have with them to complete their self-evaluation. Have it completed in the system, ready for you to view. So give them a specific date that you want that self-evaluation to be completed by. They're going to bring the self-evaluation to the meeting with you, and you and the employee will discuss the self-evaluation and your official evaluation. Okay. Your steps. You're going to ask the employee to complete a self-evaluation to bring to the evaluation meeting. Again, you'll see it online, and I'll show you that in the future. Using the online form, you're going to make your assessment of the employee's performance throughout the year. And you're going to take a copy of this assessment to the meeting with your employee. You're going to meet in person with the employee to talk about both the employee's self-evaluation and your assessment. During this meeting, you're going to discuss the employee's past performance over the year, where the employee needs improvements, what has been accomplished throughout the year, were the goals that were determined at last year's review reached, what are the goals and objectives for the upcoming year. In the online system that I will show you, if you put goals and professional development in last year's official evaluation, they will automatically be pulled in the form as the current goals and professional development so that you can see and discuss if the employee reached those goals or not. Where you hold the meeting with your employee to discuss the performance is very important. Remember that the meeting is confidential. Hold the meeting where you're not going to be interrupted. If you're in your office, make sure your phone is somewhere that you can't pick it up or turn down the volume. This time is for you to block off specifically to meet with your employee and discuss the employee's performance and any goals and professional development you want the employee to do. The meeting should be anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes. You make the judge of how long it needs to be, and make sure you talk about the entire evaluation and the employee understands what you have documented on the evaluation form. This is the time for you two to have a discussion, conversation, and using that form as the conversation tool. Okay, after you've met with the employee, you're going to finalize the review in the online system. Some supervisors like to finalize the form in front of the employee on the computer. That is fine. That is up to you and the employee how you're going to do it. You're going to make the necessary changes that were discussed if there were any changes that need to be made, and you're going to submit it for the employee to review and sign off. An email is automatically sent to the employee after you sign off that their review is available for them to review. We still want you to tell the employee that you've submitted it, but just in case they do get an email saying that they have to go in and review their final evaluation. Remember that you have to save the evaluation at least once before you're able to submit the final review. Okay, the employee is to review the entire evaluation, top to bottom, and make sure that the evaluation reflects what was agreed or discussed upon during your meeting. The employees are able to make comments at the end of the section that will be included in the final review. Employees will have to mark if they agree or disagree with the supervisor's evaluation. Note, we're saying if they agree or disagree. If they say yes, that's fine. It says agree. It'll stay saved on their official evaluation. If they mark no, they do not agree, they still have to submit the evaluation. So if they hit no, it will still be submitted, and it will just say that the employee does not agree with this evaluation. Note that there are no changes can be made after both you, the supervisor, and the employee have signed off on the review. It's final. If for some reason you need to change something on the review after you have submitted the review, you will have to contact me in person, by email documentation on why you need the evaluation opened before I will open up an evaluation. Let's say your employee has signed off and you both find out that you missed something. You both have to tell me in writing if I can open up the evaluation before I will open it up. If you and the employee have signed off and you come back saying you need to change something, I will contact your employee to asking them if they approve for me to open up the evaluation because you have a change. If they say yes, I will open up the evaluation. If the employee says no, I will not open up the evaluation since the employee has already signed off. Okay, question. On the goals, we often don't get departmental goals until after the budget is passed and the master plan is approved. We need our individual goals to align with those. Can we change or alter the submit goals later? What we are trying to build on the online system, and it's still in test right now, is to do a supplemental goals section so that after you put your review, after you have your goals in, let's say they change, you're able to go back in and change those, evaluate those goals for the year. It's still in test, but we're trying to move that to the live system so you are able to change them after you submit a final evaluation. Again, after you submit a final evaluation, we are building in a section that will do a supplemental goals section so that you can go back in and if you need to change those goals, you're able to do it without opening up the official evaluation. Right now it's still in test, but we are working on that so we can make it live. And I'll send out an announcement when that is live to all supervisors, letting you know that the supplemental goals section has become live and you're able to go back in and tweak any goals that are needed. Okay. If your employee disagrees with the evaluation, we've told the employee to go back and talk to you prior to them saying no. They're to have a conversation with the supervisor, and the supervisor needs to make sure the employee understands why you put what you put on the evaluation and why it was filled out. If the employee still does not agree, they still have to say if they agree yes or no before the evaluation can be saved. We then say you and the employee need to contact me and we'll figure out if the next step is mediation or if you need to go up the chain of command. Okay? Okay, I'm going to switch on the online system real quick so I can show you. Bear with me real quick. Okay, when you log in, this is what your screen's going to look like. Ignore the HR admin feature, you will not have that. You'll have the home page, which has information on the 2013 Excellence Program, just a few things that you need to remember. Again, remember performance review is a continuous process, not just a one-time event. You're going to have the evaluation tab, which you will do your self-evaluation and your archives. Then you have your employee evaluation tab. This is where you go that will pull up your employees underneath you. As you see right here with Jared, you are able to see a self-evaluation, the same as me. It says view. If you click view, it'll pull up the employee self-evaluation that they have put in the system. And it'll say 2013 self-evaluation for Whitney file. You're able to see this is what I put in my self-evaluation. Again, give your employees a date that you want their evaluation done. You'll see if the employee's review has been done, it'll be view print only. Or edit. If you have gone in and saved the evaluation at least once, it goes into edit mode and it'll say evaluate if you have not gone in and done anything with that evaluation. Okay, once you submit the evaluation for the employee to review, you'll go through the evaluation with the employee. Again, this is the feature that you can see that says that the employee is out of compliance with ADA or the sexual harassment. This is automatically pulled from the professional development database. And the employee can see this as well on their self-evaluation so they know if they're in compliance with these two or not. You will complete the evaluation. Remember, you have to save and exit the evaluation at least once before you're able to submit it. Once you're ready to submit the evaluation after you met with your employee, you'll click the box that says, by checking this box, I, Deanna Gavira, am submitting a final evaluation for Jared Morales in this date. The date is automatically going to be saved on the archived copy of the evaluation. Once you're ready to submit, you will check the box and you will submit final evaluation. Note that the box did not the submit, the purple or the blue box, sorry, did not come active until you hit the check box. Okay, you can see that you've submitted a final evaluation for Jared Morales. Please be aware that you can no longer edit this evaluation. The employee will go in and sign off. Okay, and let me show you that this one says the employee has signed off. It's red, so now you know that's the final evaluation. Once you pull up that final evaluation, it'll say it's the official evaluation for 2013. It'll also say if the employee agrees, yes or no. This has a little glitch, but it does say yes or no, and then the employee's comments. Okay? Any questions on the online system? Okay. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. We do have the help section, employee quick reference, the employee detailed reference. The detailed reference is the screenshots. We have the supervisor quick reference. That is just a step-by-step Word document. And we have the supervisor detailed reference. This is the screenshots for you that will specifically tell you what to do if you forget the process or need help. And I can show you real quick. And it shows you an example of what the employee sees that says the manager has completed the final evaluation for them to go in and submit it. You will get a notice that says the employee has signed off on the evaluation, and you are to log into the system to see the evaluation and any comments the employee put. Okay. And we also, for second level supervisors who have supervisors underneath them, you are able to view your supervisors underneath you, their employees' evaluations. If I had employees underneath me, Deanna would be able to view the final official evaluation. She's not able to edit it. She's not able to do anything to that evaluation, but she is able to see it. And we do have a reference guide for those second level supervisors that it'll show that the vice president is able to see will do the coordinator's evaluation as well as see the coordinator's employees' evaluations. Okay. That's the online system. The online system did go live on May 13th. You are able to log in and start your reviews. Okay, good question. With my example, I had the employee exceeds on almost everything. Can the process end with the supervisor and the employee agreeing to disagree? Yes. If you can agree to disagree. No, sorry. They can say no. The question was, I made it sound like that after review, if they disagree, they'll have to continue with the issues and revisiting issues. No, sorry, let me clarify. The supervisor and the employee can agree to disagree. If the employee comes back and says, I still don't agree with the evaluation, they might disagree on just one section. If they disagree on one section, they can still put no. The evaluation is still saved. We're saying if the employee will not sign off on yes, they agree, or disagree, they will not say yes or no, then they need to put something in the system with their comments. And if they still have issues after that, there is a process. If they want to dispute the review, they can do mediation or go up the chain. But we are telling employees and supervisors, if the employee says no and just leaves it at no, there's nothing you have to do. You can agree to disagree. We had some employees say, well, what if I just Disagree is one section. Can I still put no and just leave it at that? Yes. The employee has to say yes or no. It'll show if the employee says yes or no, but the supervisor and the employee can agree to disagree. You don't have to go over all the issues. We just want to make sure that the supervisor tells the employees, if the employee has any confusion, why the supervisor put that on the review. So yes, the supervisor and the employee can agree to disagree. The employee can put no on the review and just stop there. That's fine. We're just giving the employees the chance to say no in the comments that they want saved in their official evaluation, so when next year they pull it up, they know why they put no, you know why they put no, and it's documented. You don't have to continue to revisit the issues. We just want to make sure that the employee knows that they need to talk to you if there is an issue in the review before they hit no. Okay? So that's your online system. Again, we do have the archived copies in the previous evaluations. If you don't see one here, you can contact me and I will find out if it was done on paper or if it was done online or if there is a review for that employee for that year. Okay. Now back to the PowerPoint. Now we're at the goal setting guidelines in that section. You're going to meet with your employee to set up the goals and professional development for the next year. Remember that the goals need to be SMART. They're to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Goals are statements that are clearly and precisely identify an endpoint toward which an effort is to be directed. And the employees got some information on goals as well, so that they know that they are to start looking at setting goals prior to establishing some goals prior to meeting with you. Specific is a goal. A goal should be clear, easily understood, and it should state the specific result. Example that I gave was my goal was to better enhance the PEP process for both employees and supervisors by giving these workshops. You can tell that my goal is specific. It gave you what I wanted to do, and it's clearly understood. Measurable. Goals should be measured by quantity and quality. Remember that milestones should be established to help ensure that the quality of the outcome meets the expectations you have for that goal. For my example, my goal is to better enhance the PEP workshop for both employees and supervisors by presenting the workshops on the PEP process prior to when reviews begin. I had a set number of goals I wanted to do, at least 10, and I've actually surpassed this with the 2 WebExes. So my boss could tell that it was measurable by the number of workshops I was doing and the PowerPoint and the information that I was giving out during the workshops. Attainable. Goals should be realistic and within the employee's capabilities. You might want to challenge the employee to grow within his or her skills and talents as part of their goal. You can tell that my goal is realistic since I am the staff evaluation coordinator doing these presentations. You wouldn't want benefits or compensation doing these workshops. Relevant. Goals should be tied to organizational goals so that the employee knows the goals are worthy and will still support ACC's mission. Completing a goal may help prepare them for a better position, but it's just to make sure they know that these goals are tied to ACC's mission. Timely. Having deadlines and timetables and when you want to meet a goal's milestone and a final outcome will help in preventing a goal not being reached. Make sure that these goals have a realistic timeline. Don't give them a very short timeline. Don't give them a huge timeline. That's why you're having those measuring progress meetings throughout the year. Okay? Specific challenging goals lead to better performance than do easier vague goals. The most successful and motivating goals have 2 main characteristics. The goal should be as specific as possible, including a time limit wherever possible. The goal should be challenging but reachable. And just so you all know that we are building and working on goal setting workshops that we can present throughout the year to help employees know how to set a goal and also help the supervisors know how to make sure do a progress report with the goals to make sure that the employee are reaching them. We are building those workshops, and you'll see them in the database soon. And one of the features that we have after the reviews are done this year is that we will be pulling a report from the online system that has all that information that you put in the official evaluation as goal settings, as professional development. What you put in those two boxes, we will be pulling a report that allows us to see what supervisors want their employees to do, so we can better build workshops off what you write, off what you want the employees to do, and we know what supervisors are telling employees to do, so we have something to go to our committee and make sure we provide that information to the employees and the supervisors. Okay. Feedback on goal-directed performance motivates higher performance only when it leads to the setting of higher goals. Positive feedback on performance gives the employee a sense of achievement, recognition, and accomplishment. Productivity can be increased significantly if supervisors set a specific goal and provide attention and support. A few questions that you can ask when trying to think of a goal for an employee are listed. What is he or she doing well that you'd like for them to build upon? What strengths could he or she enhance? Does he or she need to learn any new information for new tasks or projects? What tasks or procedures could be improved, revised, streamlined, and upgraded? Can you think of any barriers that might come up in the employee's way when he or she is trying to accomplish the goal? The employees that attended this workshop also got this slide, so they have some questions to help them build goals that they want to discuss with you. Okay. Remember, annual reviews should assess the performance of the employees throughout the year, not bringing up any new or surprises during their official review, May and June. Not all employees will have performance problems. It's okay to help good employees get better without having to fix anything. Remember, performance feedback should be continual, not saved up and delivered once a year. It's an ongoing, continuous process. And we have a few slides on coaching session, which we will also be building workshops specifically for coaching sessions for the supervisors to attend. You'll start seeing those in the fall as well. Coaching means to develop the individual in the current job and prepare the individual for responsibilities the organization will expect this employee to meet in the future. Supervisors need to be a coach. You need to coach on everyday activities, not just a one-time thing, not just once a year. Coaching for improved performance is one of the critical skills in performance management. A few key points in conducting a coaching session. Before the meeting, you are to determine the desired and actual performance, determine the reasons that the problem must be solved, determine the consequences if the problem continues, determine the appropriate action step. During the coaching meeting, you are to confirm that the planned action is appropriate, gain the employee's agreement to change, determine the action the employee will take. After the meeting, the supervisor is to document the discussion. Follow up with the employee to make sure that the problem has been solved. A supervisor needs to coach after a particular successful experience and in advance of an important event. You also need to coach after a bad experience. It's always good to have what they call the post-mortem meeting after a big event or project is complete. Okay, do we have questions? We just have one more slide, and that's the documents that you need to know where they're linked: the Performance Excellence Program Manual, the Goal Setting Manual, and the Upward Evaluation FAQs. And do we have any questions? Again, put them in the chat so I can say those out loud so I can answer those and see if anyone else has any more questions. Okay. Again, remember that the online system became live on Monday, May 13th. All reviews are to be completed by Friday, July 26th. June 1st, I will be doing spot checks to see if the first line reviews have been completed. If they haven't been completed, the upward evaluation reports will not be sent out until the first line of reviews have been completed. You will also be getting reminders from me regarding completing your PEPs and having them completed before July 26th. On July 26th, a report will be generated for Dr. Rhodes and PLT with the status of the reviews. If you have a review that will not be completed by July 26th for something has come up, you will need to email me and document why that review will not be completed so I can make sure that is in the log so that when the report goes, there is an explanation of why a review is not done. And again, I'll be here for a little bit if you have questions. If not, thank you for coming. My contact information is on the last slide. If you need to email me or call me with any specific questions regarding your employees or a problem or a goal, I am here for your questions. So email me, and if not, I'll be here for a little bit to answer. And thank you all for coming.